Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heal and Learn. I wanted to welcome everybody who joined yesterday and in the past 2-3 days after having seen the short from Dr. Rex Kruhly about the upcoming event that signifies the end of Kali Yuga. I got a lot of comments, got a lot of information. I got a lot of discussions based on that. There are people much more knowledgeable than me in Hinduism and what exactly it is. I can only speak from the perspective of consciousness, and this is what I'm going to direct my attention to in this talk. So when it comes to exact timing, there are arguments about calculations, about calendars, what is correct, how much does Dr. Kruhly know, and I'm going to address all of that. Firstly, I do believe that a specific period has no importance, no bearing at all. Now I sound like Dr. Kruhly. It has no importance if it's not supported by the engagements and the minds of people. Because we create the speciality of this event. So unless it is announced, unless a lot of people back it up as an important event, it has no meaning. If it has no meaning, it's not recorded at all, because we create things by creating meaning. That's why one of my first courses was actually starting a business with meaning. You create, you give it life by giving it meaning. Everything that we now understand as our psychology actually comes from us attaching meaning to a certain thing, to a certain event, to a certain labeling of a person, to judging certain things. So it all has to do with what meaning we assign to things. Now, that being said, the exact time and whether this is Mahurta, what exactly Mahurta means, whether it's really the end of Kali Yuga, whether we still have 432,000 years or more, for me personally, it doesn't matter. I am just explaining it from the point of view of consciousness as I've come to understand it. What matters is how many people are engaged and in what intention. It's a similar concept as astrology. Unless somebody directs your attention towards a certain event, a celestial event as we perceive it, it will not bear any meaning to your life directly. Something may happen, but it will not be as dramatic as compared to if you were to set your attention and expectation to a certain outcome based on your astrology. All right. Now, I have done a lot of courses based on consciousness involving Silva techniques, involving a system called Further Energy Information Development. It's actually a direct translation from Russian. The system is called DEIR. I want to talk a little bit about it because it has a lot of connections to how we relate to energy and how other people influence us, basically the entire environment that we're in. And many of you watching this channel know that these programs for mind control, what we're called mind control, it sounds very scary, but it's actually a study of consciousness, which is what creates the world. They've been going on for many years. And this particular study on which the DEIR system was based was done in the 80s. Actually, there was even a predecessing project in the 70s. So it's been going on for a long time. In this study, people were studied in terms of their psychic abilities, what they perceive, what they see, how they see certain energies, and they created a system. And this system uses two energy flows, the upward and the downward energy flows. This system corresponds to a lot of the ancient knowledge you may have from religious texts, especially Hindu texts, because they're so old. It's similar to the Silva method. I often get comments that the three-finger techniques is some sort of a mudra, that's the turning of the eyes up. This is old knowledge. It's not something that governmental agencies or some new consciousness guru has come up with these days. It's all knowledge that already existed. It doesn't mean it's plagiarized, because very often information that gets accessed by people who teach this information is accessed spontaneously. This means they download it. They don't go around digging in old texts. Very often they just download the information that is anyhow contained in the Akashic records or in the library. We call it Akashic Records. Actually, everything, the field of consciousness is an Akashic record. It contains information. So how do we record in the Akashic Records? It is with emotion and with intention and with desire. So the intention contains the emotion already. How much do you actually want it? All right. Now, what most manifestation techniques don't tell you is that there actually could be blockages in your energy sphere that go beyond your own influence. This means sometimes you may not be able to directly influence what is stopping your energy because it's done purposefully from the outside. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about karmic connections that you've done in past lives or karmic situations that result from this life. I'm not talking about karma. I'm not talking about trauma. I'm not talking about limiting beliefs. I'm actually talking about purposeful influence on your energy or certain areas of your energy by other people. You must know that there's a lot of knowledge, especially in the Eastern cultures, but not only, also in the West, of people who do magic and certain spells and rituals. And this is quite dangerous. And it's often surprising that the more people I interact with and people that are in higher echelons, the more involved they are in these practices because they want power. And of course, if you're involved in this and you're in such a society, you get backlashes and other people do these spells on you. So very often when we are faced with misfortunes, we don't know where it's coming from. It could be a magic spell done purposefully, and these things are real. They're not made up. And the reason I'm saying they're real is because in this study, this is where I was coming from, in the DEIR system, there's a certain energy that has a specific location in the body that can be recognized as jinxing, and there are effects of jinxing. There's a certain type of energy that can be recognized as black magic, and there's also a certain type of energy that can be recognized as generational curse. And to remove some of these, you would need one or two specialists other than you, other than your active involvement. You would need other people to get rid of that. This has been studied. 500 extrasensory people were meticulously studied firsthand, primary research done in the 80s. Because how to do magic, how to conjure up these energies, these are independently living energy structures. This can be used for influence, and this is very dangerous. And I recommend any of you who is thinking that there is no repercussion, there will be repercussion for you doing such things because there is balance in life. It's called karma. So it will hit you and bite you in the butt. All right. One of the people that I know who can help you deal with these things is actually Dr. Grant Kruhly. So if you have doubts that you may be subjected to any of these external energies that I enumerated, I suggest you go to Grant Kruhly. I myself can share with you the knowledge that I have about these things, but I cannot remove them because I also miss the practice of working with these things. And to be honest, although I am running this channel and I enjoy it very much, I believe that I'm a conduit of bringing you the right people, and many of them are much more skilled than I am. If you go to Healnlearn, you will see some coaches there. Each of them has a specialty, and there is no single person that is good at everything. So you choose a few things that you're good at, and I'm good at bringing you the right people. Talking about that, I have another channel called Grownlearn where I talk about business growth. So this channel is about personal growth, and I'd say that this represents 70%, if not 80%, of everything you're going to achieve in life. It comes from you. And business growth has to do with the tools, methods, processes. There are some mindset techniques shared on this channel, but it has to do with what to do business-wise if you want to progress, be it in your career or in business. But on this channel, we talk about personal development. And it's not personal development as defined in the new age, actually bringing you genuine people that have something to share beyond the law of attraction and all these banalities. Okay, I have a few more recommendations to make regarding the information you receive. Some of you have mentioned that they stay away from news altogether. They don't want to subject themselves to conspiracy theories or to anything that is going on in the world, so as not to subject their energy to influence, not to diminish your frequency, and so on. We can't live in a bubble. If you want to live in a bubble, you can be a hermit in a cave somewhere. But you need awareness. And this awareness doesn't mean that you need to go deep and engage your emotions into something that is some event that is happening. Let's say the WHO's meeting in May 2024. Look it up, by the way. We don't need to emotionally engage, but we need to know, because we make choices every day. And by making a certain choice, what food you're buying, for example, where you're going, what kind of people you're engaging with, what kind of employer you're working for, what kind of business you want to be in, this all has to be aligned with your high moral and ethical standards. And sometimes you may not know that the people you engage with or the companies you work for go against the highest moral and ethical standards in the benefit of humanity. Don't go one way or another, make up your own mind, but you need to know what are the main movements in the world, because your awareness doesn't come from your subconscious mind only. You feed your awareness through external stimuli. Like whenever you want, for example, to make a decision, this is a technique from the Silva method. If you want to make a decision, then you feed your mind with all kinds of information that you find relevant on a conscious level, on a logical level. And once you do that, you go in alpha, you go deep within, and you contemplate deeply, or you use other techniques such as your mental counsel and so on. But you can also ask the question and let your mind wander while you're in a completely relaxed state to get the answer. But the first thing you need to do is actually to feed your mind with the logical information. You need this information about the actual events in the world or what is happening. And then go inside and check whether you need to take action, whether you need to do something, whether you need to be somewhere. Your subconscious mind will tell you. All right, now a few words about the Mahurta event that is coming up. Just to make sure you've understood the timing, I was told by Dr. Kruhly that the timing is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 15th of January, anywhere in the world. And his event starts at 5 p.m. PST on the 14th of January, which would be 15th of January, where he is in Thailand. So it's still within the Mahurta event. I myself have an upcoming course, Create Your Vision and Manifest Your Goals 2024. It's on the 14th as well. Check it out. I'll put the link below, because we'll be doing a few techniques, and I'm gonna sprinkle my offering with something that I haven't written out and I didn't plan initially. It's a technique from this system DEIR that I was talking about, and it uses the information of egregores. So egregores, our entire consciousness is an energy information system. That's why the system is called further energy information development, because you yourself develop the consciousness, you develop the structures, the reality, right? Okay, I wanted to say something else about my other channel, Grownlearn, that I didn't get to talk about. I received recently a book from Roy Ozing. It's called Be Different or Be Dead: The Audacious, Unheard of Ways I Took a Startup to $1 billion in Sales. Maybe you're not interested in this as well. Maybe you're entirely interested in spirituality. Take a look at Grow and Learn and the interview with Roy Ozing. See if you enjoyed it and let me know what you think, because the difference between personal growth and business growth is not as big as you think. Business growth is just an extension of what you are, or career growth. If you're able to embody the majority of your vision, of your dream, as a part of you, as something internal to you, then business is just a part of your life. The way you present your innate skills to the world, the way you act out, it's a part of life. People think it's something separate from you, but business is a part of you. It is a part of your personal growth as well. How do you express and exchange with other people? It's a way of communication. How do you give your innate skills to other people? So anyhow, the beginning of this book that I started reading from Roy Ozing talks about a bad leader. Why is he presenting a bad leader? Clearly, because he tells you how not to be a bad leader. And he talks about a bad leader being governed by the logical, practical side. Your left brain, your right brain or emotional side stays in the background. You let your mind lead, and rather than allowing your feelings to play an active role, you approach problem solving with an intellectual solution perspective rather than looking for solutions that trigger the feelings in people. Fantastic leaders show their emotions to others in their daily routine. People get that they're feelers and that they allow emotions to play a role in the decisions they make rather than relying on theory alone that can minimize concern for a human component. So any business is done with a concern for a human component, because otherwise you don't engage the energy of people. And if there's no intention, energy, drive of these people, the business fails, right? If you don't put energy into something. Anyhow, just wanted to throw this out just to let you know that we need to look at things holistically, not simply from a personal development and spiritual perspective, because we have lives, we have relationships, we have businesses, children. We need to take care with understanding and conscious awareness of what we're doing in each sphere of our lives. It doesn't need to be meticulous, unpleasant, controlling, just with care and understanding. Tomorrow, I'll be having Dr. Kruhly for an interview, one last with instructions before the Mahurta event. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think. And thanks for joining the channel for everybody new.